We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Dave. We have some pictures here for those of you watching on YouTube. Dave is considering turning his dining room area into a 2 to 4 seat. What? 2 to 4 seat? Is that one couch or two couches?
I guess it's one couch. It's either going to be a love
right?
seat, a 3-seater couch, or a 4-seater couch. He's not sure yet.
Anyways, it's a 12-foot, 4-inch by 10-foot, 8-inch room. So it's small. That's completely open on one side. The ceiling has exposed beams. They only have drapes over the windows to reduce full daylight, but certainly not complete light control. Before even digging into the details, should he skip this dining room conversion idea altogether, or could this be a workable situation? Anything is workable if you try hard enough. The question is, do you have another space? And if you do, well, then can you tell us what it is so we can consider it? Because you've only given us one. If the option is no theater or a theater, we're going to go with theater.
Yeah, like if you have a spare bedroom that is a similar size to this dining room, which is not impossible, but we don't know. But if that's the case, then we would say, yeah, I'd rather opt for the spare bedroom. It's going to be way easier to pressurize with your base. Maybe you'll be able to have better light control in there. But if this dining room is the only space or the only space you would like to convert,
right.
I say it's workable.
We can make this happen for sure. We can make this happen, especially since it's open on one side, and you can put as long as you're okay with putting your seats so that the backs of the seats are facing the open side, then you can push your seats all the way to the back of that room, and you have that full whatever.
Now
it is,
it's a little bit tricky because he's got the in the diagram that he's drawn.
Yes,
you can imagine the completely open side is the right-hand wall, so there is no right-hand wall. That's completely open. He'd have the TV, of course, on the top wall. He'd have the seats to the back wall, which is where the windows are. So he'd have the windows behind him. On the left-hand wall, there is a doorway. So
that does not have a door.
It doesn't have a door.
It is just a doorway.
A door opening.
It's an opening, yes.
So it looks like it would be a bit challenging to, say, put your screen on the wall where the open doorway is, and have the completely open back behind your seats. That does seem like it would be a challenge.
Yeah, so his seats would be now because we can't do what I just recommended because of the doorway.
Yeah,
but he's actually going, looking across the short wall. So so the long wall would be the wall that would be behind him and in front of him. The short wall would be to his left, and then the opening to his right. So he's going to be the back of his head was right on the back of the wall, and he has TV right against. He had a screen right on the front.
That's the way he's got it laid out.
Yeah. He's going to be about 10.5 feet, 10 feet. Let's say 10 feet from eyes to screen, max.
Yeah, probably less than that. I mean, which he actually goes into in his next part.
So I had to flick off of that to do that. So anyways, so it's a workable solution, yes. So he really likes the idea of a constant image height of 2.35 to 1 screen with optional masking on the sides when watching any regular 16:9 content. He's quite handy. Could build such a screen frame and masking himself, but at most he's thinking he'd be sitting about 9.5 feet from eyes to screen.
Which I agree, that probably would be about at the max. Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking like if you leaned way back, that's why I said
and hung your screen on the wall,
on the wall, right?
Yeah, any distance from the wall.
No, yeah. So I mean, if you were shooting it, if you just painted the wall, how about that? Painted the wall. So 9.5 feet. So yeah, he won't have full light control. So what do we suggest? Should he go for an Epson 5040 UV projector and screen, or should he opt for a large flat panel, perhaps in the 75 to 85 inch range? Honestly, dude, I think you should go for a flat panel. It's such a small room.
And I'm in agreement here.
You could totally get a big enough flat panel where you're going to get that huge, that field of view that you want without having to deal with the projector and the screen and the masking and all that stuff. I mean, you could still put masking on your TV. I mean, it'd be weird, right?
I mean,
I still hang like little drapes on it.
I do get the desire to not have your 16:9 content be larger than your 2.35:1 content. I totally get that.
Yeah, I know.
But when you're saying you're really not going to have light control, you've got this completely open side on the right-hand side of your room. So even at night, I'm betting you're going to have some light spilling into this space.
Yeah.
The flat
He's got
panel,
windows behind him. I mean,
windows behind you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, like a 75-inch screen, which is kind of affordable now thanks to the likes of Vizio and that.
Yeah.
If you sit 7.5 feet away from a 75-inch screen, that gives you a 40-degree field of view. Like, that's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
Right? Even for CinemaScope 2.35:1 aspect, that's pretty nice. And 7.5 feet is actually kind of nice in this room because that would allow you to have a little bit of space behind your seats.
Yeah.
Right? Because we don't
place to
really
hide
like
sub.
having your seats pressed right up against that back wall.
Right. Slap echo will be an issue.
Yeah. So honestly, given all of this, I'm leaning flat panel in this situation.
Yeah,
pretty strongly. I mean, it's kind of what I would do myself.
It's got it'll have the brightness that you'll need.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be 4K, which is something you won't be able to get in a projector.
I think you get wobble K.
It is whatever. But so he's currently using a Denon AVR 791 with Polk audio monitor series and CSI series speakers, along with a Polk PSW 505 subwoofer. He's still quite satisfied with the sound quality. So he's interested in Atmos, so he's already planning on upgrading the receiver, but should he also upgrade his speakers? All of them or just some? I don't really like Polk that much, but if you like him, that's fine. So you're in a small room. You're not going to be sitting further than...
Oh, yeah, for the speakers, yeah.
For the speakers, 10 feet away from your speakers. So I don't think you necessarily have to upgrade your speakers. I would consider upgrading my subwoofer. It's going to be blasting into the ether of this room.
That's right.
That's like
I would strongly consider upgrading your subwoofer.
I thought I looked up the Polk. I did not keep that tab open, though. But is it like a 12-inch driver with like a 300 watt amp?
I thought the 505 was a 10-inch. I could be wrong about that.
It's something like that. But anyways, It is a decent entry. I think it's like $200. It's a decent entry-level sub. It is very respectable. If you had this in a bedroom, I think you would be very good.
You're right. It's the 12-inch. 505 is the 12.
I would consider bumping up to a cylinder sub from SVS. And if you're pulling your couch away from the wall a little bit, you could actually lay that sub down behind your couch.
That's
and
right.
No one would ever see it.
And has strangely been the theme of this show. One subwoofer in this wide open type of space is really not such a bad idea. Because you're not going to get the same standing wave problems as a smaller enclosed room.
And it would become basically invisible.
Yeah.
It would just be behind your couch. It would be basically invisible. This gives you options of... the only real issue I see in here is how you're going to place your surround right speaker. But I'm sure you're going to have that worked out. But everything else, I mean...
You could just put that on a stand, though. Like, certainly in this size of the room, I'd be sticking to 5.1.4. I would not be trying for 7.1.4 at all. 5.1.4. So, I mean, your surround left and right speakers, if you got 2 feet behind your couch, you can put them on speaker stands, for your surround speakers. Have your subwoofer lying down behind your couch as well. Now you got a 7.5-foot viewing distance. It all starts to fall into place. As for whether you should upgrade your Polk speakers or not, though, I mean, I would kind of go again with the advice. I'm in complete agreement. All you need is bookshelf speakers here. You don't have the distance that you're ever going to need towers in this setup, which means... again, SVS and AVRant, free two-way shipping, so give them a try. Listen for yourself and be like, hey, you know what? These are way better than my Polks. I'm going to keep them. Or, you know what? They weren't worth the price. But it's free two-way shipping, so why not try? But you could try quite a few bookshelf speakers, because even on the ones that don't have free two-way shipping, the shipping costs on bookshelf speakers isn't exorbitant. And you could quite easily find out for yourself if you think it's worth an upgrade.
Yeah. I think again, upgrade the sub, get everything set up. And this could be a really nice, clean setup too. You can put everything up front, have it all, on a little stand, or like a
TV
little
stand. Yep.
Not even like, and then mount the TV on the wall above the stand, so you can use the stand for other things.
Or you could go with one of those 3-in-1 style TV stands where the TV is mounted on a stalk that stands up from the stand. Yeah, gives you a nice, clean look.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about taking the TV off of the stand that's kind of nice. I did that at my parents' house. They got them. I say I did it. They did it. But they did it because I helped them do it before. So putting it up on the wall makes it so that you can put stuff on the stand underneath it. That just makes it a little bit, gives you some, you can personalize the room a little bit. It doesn't get completely overtaken by this one piece of furniture that does nothing but AV stuff. Now it does AV stuff inside, but on top it does other things. So it's kind of nice. For Atmos in particular, with its exposed beam ceilings, do Atmos speakers even make sense? And if so, where should they be located? So they make sense perfectly fine because you're going to do on wall, not in wall to begin with. And you can mount them. Well, let me see. In this little room, you're probably going to do what? Top middles and top fronts, I would guess.
Yeah, top
or
middles
front
and
heights.
front heights.
Front
Yeah, top
heights,
middles,
yeah.
front heights. Yeah, because I mean, you can have them essentially right above your couch.
Right.
Call them
right.
top middles, and then have them 5 feet in front of you. Call them front heights. That would be perfectly fine. Here, I'm absolutely going to recommend some focal birds or focal little birds because you could mount them on the beams if that's acceptable, or hang them down from the ceiling. They'd be a great choice, and they decor wise they look great. They fit right into places like this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So he could add a second subwoofer, but if he does, where should he put it, and what should he get? Well, like I said, you're going to get rid of the one you got, and you're going to get an SVS PC 2000, and you're going to lie it down behind your couch, and you're going to live like that for a little while until you find out how it sounds. And if at that point you decide you need a second subwoofer, we can discuss you getting a second one of those because you're not going to have a lot of space. I mean, frankly, you don't have a lot of space. So having something like that that's got a small footprint may be very beneficial. And then where should you put it? Wherever you can put it, hopefully, and then we'll play with phase and try to get it fixed. If you haven't already listened to answer the Christian's question, right? It was Christian.
It was Christian. That's right.
Earlier in the podcast. And
yeah, wide open space like this, start with the one because it could be very satisfactory.
Lastly, he asks, is there any room treatments we would suggest?
Yes.
Absolutely. I got
left wall.
Well, the left wall is definitely an issue. The problem is that his left wall, his left wall, the speaker is going to be firing out that open door.
Yeah, but then it's already firing out the open door, so you're not getting a bad reflection from that.
Yeah. So if it seems like it's going to be bouncing off the wall rather than off that open door, or you could actually, no, you can't, because if I remember correctly, let me scroll back here.
Well, since he has no right wall at all,
yeah.
You kind of want to make the left side of the room as equal to that as you can, so that whatever you can put on that left wall, I want to absorb that thing.
I can't. It's a mirror, right? Is that a mirror?
Yeah, that is a mirror on that wall. Yeah.
So where that mirror is, put a big room treatment right there,
and get something with a nice printed image if the decor is a high concern. You go over to Spoonflower, you print yourself a nice fabric cover, and you can have any artwork that you like up there.
Yeah. Now you've got glass behind your head.
Yes.
And that's going to.
Now he's going to put some drapes. He said he's going to put drapes
between. Either in front of those drapes or behind those drapes. It doesn't really matter. You're going to want to put some sort of panel back there to catch the reflections of the speakers as they go past your head, and then the sound bounces off that window and comes back to your head. The drapes are not enough. The drapes are for the light. The drapes are not for the sound. So unless you've got like the world's heaviest lead line drapes, okay, even then, you still want to put a panel back there. But you're going to want to put a panel behind your head. So figure out how to make that happen. I suggest you get some sort of blinds that you put inside the window frame there, and you lower those so that people from the outside see the blinds. Then on the inside, you put the drapes to block out the light, and in between the drapes and the wall or the window, you put some panels.
Yeah, between the drapes and the blinds.
Yes. Yeah. Drapes and the blinds, basically. Drapes and the blinds.
And on that section of wall that's exposed next to the windows as well. If you can absorb there, because that's probably going to be behind your head.
Yeah.
Then so absorb behind you and absorb on your left wall.
Could very well be if you just hang some black drapes there or something like that, or you get those drapes and then you get a panel that's the same color, the same material, not the same material, but the same color material. Then you could put the panel sort of like on a stand behind your head, so that was supported up there. It's just you just want to stop that slap echo. Other than that, I don't really. I would suggest bass trapping that rear left corner, but frankly, I don't see that it's going to be much of an issue. I can't tell what that is in there.
I'm not too worried about bass trapping in this room. He's got all these openings.
All the openings, the bass is just going to go wherever it's going to go, and you're going to be. So that's what we would suggest. The left wall, if you can, or if it seems necessary, behind you, and you're done. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.